Well, all right, folks, at Fox News First here today, Tea Party favorite Republican Joe Miller knocks out Senator Lisa Murkowski in Alaska's Senate primary. It's now a done deal. He will now face off against Democrat Scott McAdams in November. We're going to talk about that a bit. Alaska Republican Joe Miller joins me now with his reaction. Joe, welcome. You said we should call you Joe, so how's it going? And congratulations. And were you surprised?
Well, you know, the outcome was what we projected, at least as far as the victory. We had just an incredible volunteer group on the ground that worked day and night to make sure that this could happen. You know, it's a small state population-wise, and that really is what can make a race. But we also had a number of just incredible people at the national and state level that got behind this campaign. And, you know, you take any one of those factors out, and we wouldn't be where we're at today.
You know, I just want to point out to the viewers that we have a little bit of a delay here, so they're going to hear that in our conversation. But I'm fascinated by something. Yesterday, you were concerned that there might be an Al Franken kind of moment in all of this, that the counting might go on for a very long time, and that the numbers might be skewed by either the Murkowski campaign or the National Senate Committee. Have you patched things up with the National Senate Committee? What's your relationship like with them this morning?
I think we're going forward in a unified way. It's my understanding that the NSRC endorsed us yesterday. I'm certain that we're going to have a unified front in the fall election.
When you look at this path, several weeks ago, nobody knew who you were in the broader United States. What was it? You know, you've even been called the Sarah Palin back candidate, Joe Miller. How do you feel about that? And what do you think started to really put you on the radar, if not that?
Well, it's very clear that at the national stage, Governor Palin's endorsement was critical. There were certainly a number of other endorsements that came behind us that also gave us national coverage, including Governor Huckabee. We had a number of personalities, national radio personalities, that also kind of put us on the national radar. But frankly, the folk on the ground is what made this thing happen. It was that volunteer network. It was the people that worked day and night to make sure that we were successful in Alaska. We tried to visit most of the communities in the state, most of the rural communities, a big state, you know, as far as geography goes. The candidate, the campaign, everybody just put a lot of effort into it. And that's really what made this thing happen in the state of Alaska.
All right, well, there's another thing that you have to make happen if you want to make it to Washington, and that's to beat Scott McAdams in November. Let's take a look at the latest polls. They show that your lead over him is narrower than it would have been if he'd gone up against Lisa Murkowski. What's your strategy there?
Well, we want to expand that lead significantly. You know, again, the approach that we have, it's very much one that has bipartisan appeal, and that's basically bringing control back to the state, basically minimizing the power of the federal government, limiting it to its enumerated powers, and it's something that Alaskans embrace. I mean, it really is not just the future of Alaska, but it's the future of the country. So we think that 11 or 15-point spread, whichever poll you're looking at, is going to expand dramatically by the time we hit the election in November.
Now, the Tea Party Express kicked in, you know, they did a lot of fundraising for you, and now they're talking about this Delaware race, which we just mentioned with Christine McDonald. How much credit do you give the Tea Party Express for your win?
Tea Party Express was very involved in this race as well. Absolutely, without their support, it would not have happened. You take any one of those factors out, and I don't think it would have happened.
All right. Well, we know that you got a race ahead of you for November, and we hope to talk to the folks who are running against you as well. And we'll follow this with Mr. McAdams, I should say. We're going to follow this all the way through. Joe Miller, thank you so much. Good talking to you today. Congratulations.
Thank you, Martha, for having me.
All right, go to foxnews.com, America's Newsroom. Do you think that Joe Miller's nomination is going to have an impact on the Tea Party? We're hearing a lot about Tea Party Express, the impact they're having on all of this. How do you think it all shakes out? Send me a tweet with your thoughts, and I will read those comments. Here's a tweet from C.E. Philby. Miller's winning is a clear signal to the Tea Party movement that their AstroTurf has gone to seed. Remember when it was called AstroTurf by Nancy Pelosi way back? And here comes Deborah from Tennessee. She emailed us. She says, yes, Joe Miller's nomination will have an effect on the election. It is as shocking as Scott Brown's last November. That's an interesting comparison. And we will see what happens. Things are getting very interesting out there.
So what did we mention earlier? That's so Murkowski's the third Senate.
Yeah. Incumbent senator.
Incumbent that failed to win their election.
That's right.
Knocked out during a primary.
Yeah.
Not even a general election, but a primary.
You have a changing of the guard argument to be made here, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.